back to episode 2 of Sutton Farms and the Mustang restoration. Today we have been soaking the engine and piston rings for 3 weeks, something like that. And we might try to turn it over, but because if we do get it to turn over, we don't want to suck bad fuel into the carburetor, which is probably going to need to be rebuilt too. We have bought 2 different things. A new gas tank from CJ Pony Parts. I can list a link below if you guys are interested in finding parts that they offer. And then also this fuel line for the Mustang. That should run from the new tank all the way up to probably the fuel pump. And once we get that done, then we'll try to turn it over, hopefully this weekend. But let's go to the back and find out what needs to be done back there. Got one more thing in the mail. This will be a surprise when we open it because neither one of us remembers what we ordered for this one. Okay, so let's go around the back and take a look.
All right, if you remember from the last episode, we looked in the trunk, and while it's not rusted out and there are no issues on the outside, Dad and I got to talking and we kind of decided that it's probably full of varnish. I had a couple subscribers mention in the comments below that the gas tank was probably junk at this point, and even if it was salvageable, it's going to take months to clean it out if we have to soak it. So we just bought the new one. They had 3 different grades of tank on CJ Pony Parts. They had the low end, just like this one, came from the factory, steel inside and out. They had the second grade, which was coated with some sort of coat. And then the third one was a stainless steel tank, guaranteed not to rust. So of course we went with the low end one that came just like it came from the factory. So we're gonna see how that goes. Let us set up and we'll start working. We're gonna vacuum some of this out. So we have all the screws out holding the gas tank and the clamps off the hose. There were 3 different sizes of sheet metal screws holding it in, 3/8, 7/16, and a half. So now we're going to try with a pry bar to pry it out or push it out from the bottom. Maybe I should push out from the bottom to start, Dad. What do you think? Think I could push it up from the bottom? If we can move it at all. Quigley, thank you for your help. Trying to figure out whether to use roof pitch or caulking to put it in. Maybe put it in the comments below and tell us what you think we should have done after we do what we did do.
probably work. You can probably clean it up.
Or most of the time, you have a gas tank or something, it's good for the life of the car, unless something goes wrong.
It's got fuel in there, but there's a lot of it. Look down in there. Look at that shit. It's green.
I'm surprised that it's not thicker in there. I'm sure in the low spots it probably is thicker.
Well, it doesn't take too much.
But it smells. You can smell it. Can't you smell that? It's a nasty stink. It might be able to be cleaned
There might be pinholes in there.
You think so?
Good morning. We're back for day 2. We spent a little family time last night, but before we went in last night, we went ahead and got almost all of the gas line out of the car, except for where it goes through the firewall and into the engine bay, which we'll do today. We're gonna have to take off the the captain's side front wheel and tire to get to that. We're gonna do some unboxing over here. We got some goodies. We went to town, we got some paint, undercoating, and we'll go around front and we'll look at that. And then we'll get back to installing the gas tank. We did buy a new battery today, and I think we're gonna try to hook that up and see what happens when we turn the key over. Come over here and we'll check out some new stuff. Okay, so last night when I was talking about taking out the fuel line, we took out the fuel pump, and it's seen better days too. But it might work, but like Dad said, the diaphragm's probably dried up by now. We got some fuel line that might be a little too big for this, but we'll tighten it down with some clamps that Dad had laying around in the garage. We bought this, hold on. Oh, a new battery. So we're gonna see what happens when we turn the key on. We'll have to figure out which way it goes in. And it does not have the go handle. So that was extra. So we'll throw this in here at some point and see what happens when we turn the key over. Hey, that fits pretty well. Hopefully not the wrong way. We'll just pull it nice and tight until it's stretched as hard as it can go. Now we're gonna open the gas tank. See what we got in this box. What do we have, Jasper?
I don't know. It's not here.
Jasper, it's delicate. It's a fuel sending unit. We'll get that together after a while. Keep that away from prying hands. Set that over there where we'll lose it. We'll be looking for that in half an hour. We got the new hose that goes from the gas tank to the filler tube. We got a new gasket. Here, why don't you put this over here on the gas tank as we get them out. What do we have? We've got new hardware. some new sheet metal screws, some little ones. Again, this is all from CJ Pony Parts. And the stuff that we ordered from there, it's been years since we ordered. I think we ordered some for the last Mustang we worked on, but it came within days. The delivery was great from that company, so I'd recommend going there. We got
You should get a sponsor before you say that.
parts list. Oh, no, I'm not looking for a sponsor. Here, just put that over there with that. Help me get this out. Okay. All right. Ooh, that's pretty. It's painted. It's already painted. Cool. We might not have to undercoat that after all. So we bought the regular steel.
That looks like
It's gray, painted. You know, I thought it was going to be just raw steel.
I
So
did too.
what we might do is rough this up on the bottom anyway and undercoat it. But luckily it's painted. We'll have to tape off this so it doesn't get any metal shavings in there or paint down in there. Got a drain plug on the bottom. So that is the gas tank. That is the old one and the new one. Looks pretty good. Okay. All right, let's put this one. Dad, do you have tape? You can tape up the holes. I'll give that to you.
You done?
Nope. Not yet. Let's take a look at this. This is the fuel line. Now they had the option of a one-piece fuel line for the early model Mustang, 67. I think it was like 64 through 68. So the early model Mustangs came in one piece. And this is a late model, and it came in two pieces.
Like this one, came in two pieces.
That's right, yeah. So we lucked out. And the way you can tell the early model from the late model is that the late model has this hard plastic container for the washer fluid. The early models have the bag. And I thought I remembered when I was ordering this that it had the hard plastic in it. We lucked out and it was right. So we'll cut this apart. This will be what we put in. And we'll set up and start filming that. So let's get it put in.
Satisfying noise unless you step on it.
So it's what you did. So here's the fuel line that comes through the firewall. Up in here, we're going to take off this bracket, rejuvenate it. Fuel line goes under here, another bracket, and then it goes through this to the engine bay. So just a little bit to take off there. We'll plug the new one back in, and then we'll work from the firewall back to the gas tank, get all those brackets put in, and then we'll get under the car, do our last minute scuffing up, priming, undercoating. Quigley, you're in charge of that. And then, yeah, then we might see what it does when we turn it over. That could be fun.
bring you down here so that you can see what I'm doing as I put the fuel line back in.
All right, so this is the gas tank. This is the bottom. This is where the fuel sending unit will go in. Just clog that up, taped off the drain plug. I'm gonna do around here so that I can't tell him he did it wrong. And then he's going to put black on the rest of it. Sir, would you mind filming? I'm gonna.
This will, hopefully, we can poke this into the firewall. We can poke this into the engine bay.
Oh, calipers that go on there to keep you from putting. They all get, I'm sure the holes aren't working.
I need somebody on the other side trying to figure out where that hole is.
Corgo says, woof, woof, I'll do it.
Because it needs to go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, hold on now. This is gonna go through the up here. Okay, let go of it, Dad. If
I'm not holding it.
Okay.
What you gotta do, twist it?
No, not quite. Not around here. Not quite. There we go. Hold on. I think that's it. All right. How does that look on your end? Is it sticking through?
Yeah, you need a grommet on there.
I'm not sure if it would have been smarter to put the grommet in and then put the...
Well, up there it would have been.
That doesn't look like it's going in.
Yeah, it's going.
Like water pump or something, you know?
We have the rubber grommet through the firewall. We've got the bracketry holding the new gas line in, all new gas line. We repaired all of this. This is brand new now. And a new grommet in here and a new bracket here. So now we're gonna start, and we're gonna go from the back of the firewall, where it is back here. This should be a trick, getting the new
We'll talk to you later.
gas line in under here. That's where it's gonna connect. We're gonna run the new gas line all the way to the back. Once we have that in, we'll put the gas tank in. Success. We got the fuel line under the car. We're going to take a lunch break. We'll be back to connect everything. The gas tank is outside drying. We're going to start connecting it from the firewall, bring it back this way, put brackets on, do some subtle bends as we come back to the back. Get the last bracket on under here, put the fuel tank in, crawl into the car. After we have the sending unit in, seal it up. the screws in and hook up this outside business with this tube. Gas line underneath, the electric, yep. I will turn this back on when we're finished. Gas cap is back on. We have some rust proofing in here. New gas tank, obviously. New hose. New fuel sending unit in the back bottom. I'll show you in a second as best I can. We tried to seal it as best we could. Doesn't look pretty yet, but we'll make that look a little more pretty when we're done, after we know everything's working. Underneath, the tank looks good. And it's got the fuel sending unit hooked up to the all new gas line. It's gonna take some work. It's got some surface rust on a lot of stuff. Gas tank is in. New fuel line is in from the engine bay all the way to the gas tank. We've got a new pickup sensor that we hope is grounded and will work. If it doesn't, we'll have to go back and make sure that's grounded. We may have rust proofed it a little too much. We can't probably rust proof it too much for Indiana. So now what we're gonna do is hop inside to neutral. We're gonna turn the key. We're gonna see what happens. We'll go from there. I'm gonna go do that now. Chuck Quicks. Okay. Quickly, it's going for a ride. I pumped it for some reason.
The hell's that?
Got an alternator light, an oil light. Here's the keys for another day. It's not turning over. If anybody has any ideas in the comment section, you heard what sound it was making if you were listening. Yeah. Let us know. Is it the starter? The flywheel looks on the bottom, had no cover on the bottom at all. It's completely covered in rust. The starter obviously hasn't been used in 40 years, so could it be the starter?
Not even started. No, it is.
Could it be the starter that's not working? And not even attempting to turn the flywheel and turning the pistons? Or do you think the pistons are hooked up in the cylinders? We've soaked the cylinders for 3 or 4 weeks with mystery oil, ATF. But it was a good weekend, a good 2 days. We did get the new tank in, we got the new sending unit in, we got the new fuel line all the way to the tank, or all the way to the engine bay. We need a new fuel pump. We're gonna order that, have it next time, put it in. So stay tuned. Episode 3, what we'll probably end up doing is taking the starter out, juicing up the flywheel. I don't know. And if you have any comments in the section, please let us know. Please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, let me know. Contact me. Tell me what might work, and we'll probably give it a try. Thanks for watching.